Let's do this. The Cult of Hockey podcast by the faithful and for the faithful. I'm David Staples of the Edmonton Journal, and I'm here today with Bruce McCurdy. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, David. How are you tonight?
Good. Although I've had this cold, and then tonight I was eating some soup which had cayenne pepper in it, and I got a big shot of cayenne pepper. And it was almost like I had some kind of allergic reaction because I couldn't breathe for like 2 minutes. Anyway, it's jostled up my system like in Bleak House. Shake me up, Judy. I don't know if you know that reference, but if you've seen the TV series Bleak House, you'll get that. You're off to one side a bit, it says. That you saying that to me?
No.
I thought it might be Skype, like artificial intelligence telling me that. All right. So yeah, I'm a little
because
bit.
it cuts out
this is a little wild. I'm going to be coughing more than normal, is what I'm trying to say in a long and roundabout way. So here we go.
Pepper.
See how this goes, Bruce. I got the cough button, which I hope I'll remember to use.
Mm-hmm.
I tried.
Now, one thing I've learned about Skype is that you can be off a little bit, and it doesn't look like much on the full screen, but when they show the two of us together, that little bit turns into more.
It's massive, yeah.
Anyway.
Head split in half then by the screen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bruce, another really exciting game. This one for
never in doubt.
It was a crazy game. 6-5 for the Oilers. What a crazy hockey game that was. That was one of the weirdest games that I've seen. It was just the weirdest referee game, and we're going to obviously be talking about that. Bruce, this is our two good things, two bad things, and two numbers podcast. What is your good thing? Go.
Okay. My good thing is, I'm going to split it 97 and 29. I do believe that one of the two of them was in on all 6 Oilers goals tonight, with McDavid netting a hat trick of goals on assortment. He really had the dangling stick going tonight. He was doing this hummingbird wings kind of stick handling that he does, where, if you get the super slow motion, if you can count whether he actually touches the puck 1,000 times a second, or usually he's just touching the ice around the puck, but it sure is bedazzling. And he showed those kind of moves on especially the 5-4 goal, when he absolutely blazed. I'm not sure, was it number 5 or number 6 for Chicago, Connor Murphy or Jake McCabe? Either way, a very experienced NHL defenseman who made the mistake of rushing out at McDavid when he received the pass, and McDavid immediately demonstrated what a huge mistake that is by just going around the guy and leaving him checking air, and going in and beating Alex Stalock, former Oilers number 4 netminder, with a deft shot through the 5-hole from close range. And McDavid had 3 goals and a helper in this one to move into a tie, 15 points for the league lead. And guess what? He's tied with Leon Draisaitl, among others, who got his own 15th point to win the game in the 60th minute on a great pass across a nice steal off of Captain Sirius, who made a pretty serious turnover of the puck in the 60th minute of a tie game. And Yamamoto Kane worked it over to Draisaitl, and he pounded it home at 19:22 the third. And it was just almost late enough. Like, I was thinking, well, it's not overtime, and the way this game's going, it's not over yet. But actually, the Oilers were great in the last 40 seconds, and actually did shut her down after that. But the two of them, between them, the captain and the birthday boy, they were the drivers of the offense, and the Oilers needed every bit of offense that they got in this game, with 36 shots and 6 goals. And it was not a gem of defensive play or disciplined hockey, to say the least. It was an old-fashioned barn burner.
I think it was McDavid's first goal, the least spectacular of them. I think it was, or was it just the one where he just charges down the wing and fires in that puck?
Mm-hmm.
And he did that about 3 or 4 times last year, that same play. And for most players in the NHL, shooting from there is a B shot. It's a
Yeah.
B grade scoring chance shot. Most guys don't score. They'll go in
Hmm.
maybe 10% of the time, maybe 15 tops. Like a really good shooter might get 15% of the time. I swear McDavid's like a 25% shooter on that exact same play because his speed is such coming down the wing. It just freaks the goalie and adds, I think, to the velocity of the shot.
Yes.
And it's a very difficult shot for goalies to stop, and he hammered that one in.
More so if he's coming down on an angle than if he's coming right up the middle of the ice, because it's changing the shooting angle
Yes,
as he's coming down the wing, and he's coming down at the supersonic speeds that the goalies aren't quite used to. So they're trying to shuffle over and keep up to him, and they either don't keep up with him and leave something on the short side, or they overcommit, or they're shuffling so fast that they leave a little hole in there somewhere, and McDavid just fires a low hard shot, and sometimes it finds a hole as it did there. That was a nice goal, and then his second goal on a 4-on-3 power play by the Oilers. This was the one goal that both McDavid and Draisaitl were involved in. It was Dry's pass that found McDavid for the quick shot that beamed Stalock. It was actually going over the crossbar and hit Stalock in the head, popped straight up in the air and came down between Stalock and the goal line and dribbled over the line. That was a element of good fortune in that one.
do
So
you watch, Bruce? Do you watch Cobra Kai?
I don't.
It's on Netflix. It's the Karate Kid reboot. It's
Oh yeah.
fantastic. It's a lot of
Hmm.
fun. Anyway, like they're one of the typical tropes of that show is like the karate punch, which is this just really quick, short, where you concentrate all your human energy in this one short, quick punch,
Hmm.
and it's devastating. That's what that shot was like. That second goal for McDavid, just this quick stab at the puck, and he just propelled it quite hard and fast right at the net, and conked the goalie on the head. I didn't know it hit him on the head. I thought it hit his glove, I guess, or his shoulder, and then it went in the net. That was a beauty. And Bruce, speaking of beauties, Leon Draisaitl's pass on Edmonton's
Fourth goal.
fourth goal, his backhand pass to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. What a pass! What
Mm.
a pass! Right through the crease, backhand. I mean, the goalie should have cut it out. Probably it looked like, but it was so
It
fast and
went
hard.
under Stalock's stick. It went between
Yeah,
Stalock's stick and Stalock himself.
yeah.
And Leon, he just looked everybody off. He had the puck for a good 5 seconds in the corner, and he had them thinking he was going back to the point with it or cross ice. And then he just sort of gradually worked his way in to the uh, a little close to the net, and all of a sudden that magic backhand sifted a hard pass right through Stalock, below the defense, past Stalock, and right on to the stick of RNH, who pounded home his fifth goal of the season. And he didn't have 5 goals by New Year's last year. So that's some good news from Edmonton, too. And he certainly wrapped that one home with authority. Yeah, there
I
was.
sure loved I sure loved Evan Bouchard's play in the game. Like his confidence with the puck
Mhm.
is getting to be extreme. He's so calm now with the puck. Like there's a couple times he just did like little stick handling maneuvers in pressure situations where he completely controlled the puck and deked out the Chicago Blackhawks. I saw it at least 3 times in the game, including on that play where he set up
Mhm.
McDavid in the slot on the McDavid's third goal. So yeah, lots of things of beauty tonight from the Oilers attacking end of it.
Yeah, that play Bouchard made at the blue line, I thought he'd gotten himself into trouble on the 5-4.
Yeah.
This was during an Oilers power play that had not been doing much right, and it looked like that Bouchard was going to lose possession out of the zone, and then he made a terrific play to control the puck and then find McDavid in the open, which is always a high percentage pass. It earned him a primary assist on the play.
Evan Bouchard, man, he is coming on, Bruce. He's looking like Sergei Zubov. All right.
He reminds me of Larry Murphy.
Yeah,
That's the
he's a
guy.
lot like Murphy.
Yeah.
Slower, brilliant
Mm-hmm.
with the puck, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
little weak on defense now and then, a little soft now and then, maybe on defense. But man, can he play the puck? And Larry Murphy is in the Hockey Hall of Fame, if I'm
he
not.
is. He is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that's a real
Won some Stanley
compliment
Cups.
comparing him to Larry Murphy. The guy
Yeah,
that
that's
Toronto
amazing.
sold to Detroit for $1.
Is Zubov in the Hall of Fame? I don't know if he is
Oh yeah,
actually. Is he?
yeah.
Yeah, he's such a great player.
Yes, he was an absolutely wonderful player. All Oilers fans got their fill and then some of Sergei Zubov in all those playoff series. And yet, you know what? I don't know a single Oiler fan who legitimately hates Sergei Zubov.
No, we hate
And
every
and
other.
many of us have seething residual hatreds of many Dallas Stars players.
Darian
But
Hatcher.
Zubov is not one of
Darian
them.
Hatcher at the top of the
Oh
list,
yeah, he's
followed,
at the top of the
by
list. Yeah.
Richard Matvechuk and
Hmm.
Daryl Sidor even. Although Sidor was less nasty, but he still had his moments. And
All the grumpy old man, Belfour. They had their share of guys, but Zubov was a player. I personally just flat out admired him throughout his entire
what a
career with
freaking hockey player.
Rangers, briefly with I think Washington, and then when Dallas got him, I admired him from a lot less of a distance than I would have preferred to admire him, which would have been in the other conference.
Clear the cap space now, brother, because Evan Bouchard is gonna get paid.
Yeah.
All right. My good thing, Bruce,
Hmm.
is poetic justice. There was poetic justice before our eyes in this game tonight, and it came in the last minute of the game when Kailer Yamamoto stole the puck, put it over to Evander Kane, and Kane put it over to Draisaitl for the goal. And the poetic justice was Kane being involved in the winning goal because he was just royally screwed out of
Yeah.
that goal by the referees. And I don't know the justification for that call. I'd be interested to hear if there
Hmm.
is an official explanation for it.
Hmm.
But that was madness. He was. What are you going to say? I guess the thing you could say was he tried to look. He took incidental contact from the defenseman, and on purpose fell backwards into the goalie.
Hmm.
And that's why we saw a motivated play on his part to wipe out the goalie. That would be
Hmm.
the only explanation I could think of. Because otherwise, I
Yeah.
mean, the defenseman, I think it was Seth, was it Seth? Yeah,
Pitchforked him
Seth
down.
Jones did push him right into the goalie.
Hmm.
And not only that, after that happened, Kane got up as quickly as he could and got off the goalie. It's not like he lied there
Hmm.
in Ryan Kessler like fashion on top of the goalie for 5, 10, 15
Yeah.
seconds. You know, he got up as quickly as he could and he got out of the
He
crease.
didn't
He
grab
got
his
pushed to the
pad
goal.
either,
He
David.
got up.
He
Got up
didn't
as
grab
quickly as
his
he
pad, did he?
didn't grab his pad. Didn't hold his pad
Okay,
down
now
to the
you got me
ice.
going.
Yeah,
Comparing
go
that
ahead.
goal to the Ryan Kessler play. Oh,
Well, yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, this was a
yeah.
crazy call. So anyway, I'd like to hear that. But there was poetic justice, Bruce, in that
Hmm.
Kane was huge on that winning goal. And you know what we saw tonight was a prime example of why you love to have a player like Evander Kane on your team, and you hate to have him on the other team. The fans in Chicago were so riled up by Kane, by his antics on the ice and what he was doing, and his
Hmm.
aggressive and violent play, frankly violent play, and he got the refs riled up too because that was an absolutely ridiculous penalty. Like the Oilers are already down a man on an iffy call, and the refs give him Kane was no doubt saying nasty things on the bench, but you just suck it up, ref. I
Yeah,
mean,
really.
you've made an iffy call. You've got to know it's an iffy call, a
Made
borderline
several
call.
iffy calls in one.
Yeah. So just, I mean, to give them a 5-on-3 out of that, that's how often do you see the refs give a penalty to someone on the bench for mouthing off? It's very rare.
Once in a while.
Anyway, they can do it, but it's very rare, Bruce. That hardly ever happens. And they do it then. Yeah, I didn't like that. Anyway, poetic justice.
Yeah, well, he kind of whiffed the puck just before that, and I was muttering to my TV, going, "Come on, Kane, you got to make a play at some point." And then Taves coughed it up, and Yamamoto got it right back to. And Yamamoto was much better tonight, by the
He
way,
was.
I will say. And he got it right back to Kane. And the second chance, he did make a very nice pass, and Leon pounded it home. So poetic justice in the. Normally, you wouldn't care, 60th minute, 63rd minute, 65th minute, doesn't matter. You got your 2 points. But
Yamamoto got the Yamamoto got the low game grade bounce, Bruce. They see those Celtic hockey grades, they see that
yeah,
3 by their name, and they
I'm
just think, no
convinced of
way,
it.
I'm not letting down those Celtic hockey game graders again. I'm coming out. I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna come after it and have myself a 7 out of 10 game.
I'm going to prove that so and so wrong.
Yeah,
And I mean, we know that he's, that's his game, is getting involved and getting aggressive. And tonight he had a game high 3 takeaways, and that's a big part of Yamamoto's game, is getting in there with the stick and
good for
making
him. Like,
plays. And he made a big one on that winning goal, so credit to
I,
him.
yeah, I think coming back from injury, like, I just really do think it's a huge, like, we've heard this many times, right? People talk about the psychology of coming back, like you're somewhat better or you are better, but it's just just that hesitancy of throwing yourself into the play, throwing yourself like a seed into the furrow. Like, it's hard to just go for it when you're in the back of your mind, you're worried about getting hurt again. And I, maybe he was hearing from it, not from us,
Hmm.
but from his teammates and coaches a little bit, like, time to pick it up, kid. And he certainly did that. He played. That was a very good game. Bruce, what is your bad thing, Amundo?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I want to say, right? So I vowed to myself again this year that I wouldn't get on the cases of the refs except when absolutely necessary, which we've got to game 8, and it's almost become absolutely necessary. But I'm actually going to hold off until the numbers. And for my bad thing, I'm going to have to say the net mining of Jack Campbell left me pretty cold tonight, David. I didn't think he had a good game. In the first period, the Oilers allowed 2 grade A shots, and they both went in. And in the second period, uh, right off the hop, uh, Campbell. Oh, I got the wrong one. Yeah, it was a bad rebound on the second goal to boot. They just punted out, and
Yeah,
Chicago sniper Reese Johnson was able to pull it in and go around Campbell and tap home an easy one. Then he started the second period by lobbing a backhand shot about 5 feet over the glass into the netting and putting the Oilers shorthanded. Uh, right after they tied it up 2-2, like 8 seconds later, Campbell takes a penalty for a really bad handle of the puck, and then Chicago scores on that power play. Now, he's not necessarily at fault on the goal, but at that point, you're wanting your goalie to make a save. Chicago by then had 3 grade A shots and 3 goals. And then on the fourth goal, he was beaten from outside. Great shot on the 5-on-3, but from distance. And then the fifth goal, I really didn't like the rebound. It hit him in the chest protector. It was a hard shot from top of the circle, but the rebound went directly into the slot where, who was it this time? Oh, yeah, Patrick Kane, that guy. Went right to him, and he pounded it home. And I thought Campbell's rebound control in this game was very poor. There was
yeah,
some pucks that in the first period. I mean, it didn't result in goals or even dangerous shots, but the puck would come in and it would hit him, and it would respond like it had hit a trampoline, and it would go out faster than it came in, back into the slot. And he just needs to be better. I mean, that was a pretty tough night's work, and he made his teammates' job tough. That was a game that a strong goaltending performance there, and it's probably a pretty straightforward win. But I can't say as the Oilers really got it, and I can't say that uh, uh, he's really filling me with assurance. Point 1 year into his 5-year contract, that this is the guy that is going to be number one goalie material and Stanley Cup playoff contender. I mean, obviously, it's a tiny sample size, and we don't want to overreact, but he needs to be better. I'll just leave it at that.
yeah. That is.
He did
This
make
was
some good
the
saves after those first 3 goals. He made some good stops. It wasn't like it was every single one went in, but too
Yeah,
many went
this
in.
was my only concern about that contract was the term, because, and also the fact that if Stuart Skinner plays well, you're gonna have to pay him, right? And
Yeah, Then what?
This is life in the NHL. Like, they got to win now, Bruce. They needed a
Yeah.
starting goalie. He was the
Hmm.
best one available that was going to come here. That was the amount. So
Hmm.
you got to win. So that's why they did it. And hopefully he'll. I mean, he's had 5 good pro seasons in a row. Like, he really has. Go look at his record on Hockey DB. His save percentages have all been really good the last 5 years, or at least okay-ish, like at least league average. I think,
Hmm.
all 5 of those years above league
Right.
average is what I'll say. In whatever league he was in, I think one was an AHL year. So he's been okay to good, and it's not like he's getting Javi Bulin money, or not Javi Bulin.
No,
What's the
he's
guy
just
in
getting Koskinen money.
but Bobrovsky money was what I was going to say. Javi Bulin's
Right.
too long ago.
Right.
And he didn't get paid that much.
Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky gets paid so much, and he's
Hmm.
how much is he better
Yeah.
than Jack Campbell? Is Sergei Bobrovsky a better goalie right now than Jack Campbell? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's a good question. I mean,
So anyway,
it's
it's a risk they took,
it's
and
voodoo,
we'll see
and
how it
it's a
goes.
risk. But I mean, who do you start on Saturday night?
Oh, Skinner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
8
go
games
back to
into the
Skinner.
season, and it's already, so
It's good to have two
anyway,
good goalies.
I'm not giving up on the guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying tonight's game, just critiquing tonight's game. I didn't think he was that solid. And puck handling, rebound control, and just making the first save on a couple of instances.
Well, on 4 of the 5 goals, Bruce, he was arguably, one of the culprits. So
One
that's
way
not
or
good.
another. Yeah.
That's not good at all. And it's not the first time this season, right? Every game he's let in kind of an iffy goal that he's played in, I think, pretty much. Maybe one game he didn't. So there's that. Oh, my bad thing.
Hmm.
It's a relative nitpick, because it's just on the one goal, but it was on the first goal. And Hyman takes the puck in, goes around the net, throws it out front. There's another forward, I think it's McDavid, down low. And Darnell Nurse, as he should be, because he was the next man, jumps into the play into the slot. He was
Hmm.
wide open in the slot. All Hyman
Hmm.
had to do was hit him with a pass, and that might
Right.
have been a goal. So there was every right and every responsibility, frankly, for Darnell Nurse to be there in the slot trying to score. But then someone else has a responsibility. You see your defenseman uh,
Hmm.
go in there, and you're the high forward. What do? You cover for him.
Hmm.
And Ryan Nugent Hopkins, who otherwise has been playing, some pretty strong hockey here, he didn't cover for Darnell Nurse, and as a result, the play breaks out the side, Nurse's side of the ice. Cece barely has time to recover. He doesn't have time to recover because it's Andreas Athanasiou breaking out with the puck, who's one of the fastest players in the NHL, and goes in and scores. So if Nugent just covered, just kept his head
Yeah.
covered, there's no problem then. Then well, maybe he
Hmm.
doesn't stop Athanasiou either. Like, but I think that play doesn't develop if
Yeah. He
Nugent
just
Hopkins
didn't
is
read
over
it
there.
because he was high enough in the zone, maybe, but he was on completely the wrong wing. Like he
Yeah,
wasn't covering for Nurse. He was in front of the other defenseman, Cece, and neither one of them was able to cut off Athanasiou. I didn't like Hyman's play particularly there either. That was a prayer pass. And, he just sort of whipped it out between everybody. And, when you bring your teammates in, I mean, Draisaitl got crapped on for a pass a few games ago where he made a drop pass that missed Yamamoto that went the other way for a breakaway. Well, this was deeper in the zone, but the result is the same. The puck was whipped out and not particularly close to either McDavid or Nurse, and all of a sudden they're all trapped.
I'm generally okay, Bruce, with passes from behind the net into the slot, right
Mhm.
through the slot. That's what that was. I think that's a. Sometimes you don't. You all you can do is strain to make that pass. You can't. You're not like you. There's a player in the area, and you're just hoping that he's there. But it's usually a safe enough play, and a high percentage
Doesn't
enough
need to
play
be covered
for
off.
good things happening. Like the ratio of good to bad that happens in that situation is usually there's a lot more good. I mean, Fogel made a pass like that the other day. And Nurse skated onto it and scored. I don't know if Fogel
Made the
saw Nurse.
pass. What's the
Yeah, I
difference?
don't. But I just he threw it out there. I think blindly, honestly. I don't think Fogel saw it. But he did. That one connected. So And the other thing about that particular pass was it didn't. There was a moment where Chicago regrouped for a second too, right? Like there was this regrouping moment where the pass went and they gobbled up the puck, and it wasn't instantaneously a breakaway. It took them a second to organize and then make the pass. So I guess I'm saying I think Hyman made the right play. He didn't execute, like he didn't hit the guy with
He
the
didn't
pass.
execute. Yeah, I mean the idea wasn't wrong, but
Yeah,
he just
but
kind of
even a blind pass. I'm saying I'm okay with that from behind the net into the slot. Like that, I think that happens a lot in the NHL, and I think usually good things happen. So anyway, slight. Maybe we disagree on that. I don't know. Sounds like we do. Your number.
My number is 8. 8 power plays that Chicago got in the second period alone. David, I've never seen the like. I don't think I've ever seen it. 8 power plays for one team in one period. Oilers got, let's see, now Campbell, delay of game, puck over glass, legit call. They had no choice, obviously. Niemelainen interference, I thought that was kind of iffy. Kane got cross-checked. He got up and he cross-checked the guy back, and then he gave him an extra little shot. The 2 cross-checking penalties on Kane, nothing to the other guy. 4 minutes power play. Barry got 2 for cross-checking. I honestly don't even remember it. Holloway got 2 for hooking. I think that was probably a legit call. Nurse got 2 for cross-checking where he buried the guy in the slot, but minutes later it was okay for Seth Jones to bury Evander Kane into the crease, and they didn't even think about calling that a penalty. And then your favorite one, the team got a delay of game penalty for contesting the rotten call. And then Kane got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty also for contesting the rotten call. And now you're up to 8 penalties in a single period. Apparently there was 4 minutes and 57 seconds of 5-on-5 play out of a 20-minute period. They were calling some in Chicago too, and they called a few in the third period to kind of even it up a little bit. But I honestly thought this was a game where the refs just took the pace out of the game, and they were so inconsistent. Like this play where I mean the big play that had everybody's tongue wagging. Jones pitchforks Kane down into the crease. Kane falls on Stalock. He scrambles up. Jones scrambles up. Stalock scrambles up, but without his stick. Puck comes back to the blue line. There's a shot. Stalock stops it. Kane grabs the rebound, steps around, and taps it in. He celebrates. The referee points directly at the net. And then 2 minutes later, the refs had the temerity to say, the call on the ice is no goal. And what do they think? We're blind? Come on. The call on the ice is no goal. He called it a goal. And then they said the call now. So now it's the Oilers that have the challenge, not Chicago that has the challenge. And when Chicago wins the challenge, now it's a penalty to the Oilers. And not only do they get screwed out of a goal, they actually get a penalty out of it. And then another penalty because, as you say, the referees don't have the, put your earmuffs on. After you screwed a team that bad, you're going to expect to get a little bit of invective from the bench. So it's piling on at that point. Anyway, I hope, I don't know what Kane said to him, but it was probably pretty good. But anyway, it was, and probably undisciplined on the part of Kane. But at that point, it did seem like piling on, and I have to say my blood pressure rose by a good 50/30 during that entire sequence. Instead of being 4-3 Edmonton, it's 4-3 Chicago, a 2-goal swing. And it just was so. But this was a game. I mean, Chicago went 2 for 10 in the power play in the game, and the Oilers went 3 for 7. And there were some really bizarre numbers besides the 8. I mean, here's one. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins played 18 minutes and 17 seconds tonight, of which 6 minutes and 26 seconds were at even strength. He played 18 minutes, and 6 of them were at even strength. 9 on the power play, 3 on the penalty kill. Both Draisaitl and McDavid played more on the power play than they did at even strength. There was guys, just racking up. Cody Ceci played 7:53 on the penalty kill tonight. There's just bizarre numbers. And then if you look at the game as a whole, 33 minutes of 5-on-5 play or even strength play. And there was all kinds of other situations, 5-on-4, 4-on-3, 5-on-3, 4-on-4, 6-on-5. Oh yeah, a little tiny bit of 5-on-5. Like these zebras, and I will name them because they were awful enough to deserve being named. Chris Rooney and John McIsaac. They had a terrible game.
I had my cough button on so you didn't hear this. That was in your top 5 all-time diatribes, Bruce, against the referees.
Well, was it? Somebody asked me if it was the worst I ever saw, and I said no. Probably, I think it was our friend Murdoch Davis, and I said no, probably not even in the bottom 10. You know, I've been around a long time.
Well,
and that was certainly meant as a jibe as NHL officiating in general over the decades, but it was not good. It was not good at all.
I didn't know about that. That they had signaled goal. I didn't know they had signaled goal on the ice and then say the call on the ice is not a goal. I guess there are 2 refs.
Maybe the guy a mile away decided he saw something in the crease that the guy standing right next to the crease didn't see, but that doesn't exactly hold water either.
Yeah, a tough night for like the third line guys that don't play. Like Fogle only got what did he get? Fogle 8:53 of ice time. Pugliardi 9:59.
Holloway 8:07 and 2 penalties.
But Ryan McLeod's looking good too. So both he and Bouchard are getting so confident with the puck.
Mm-hmm.
Just really encouraging to see that level of skill from those 2 players coming forward because man, this is already a highly skilled team. And if young players like that, and Holloway had a moment or 2 where he showed his skill. Like one moment he really showed his speed, got a good shot.
Yes.
That's very, very encouraging. Bruce, my number is also your number was 8. My number is also 8.
Okay.
It is the number of goals that Connor McDavid has this year, and he leads the league in goal scoring so far. 8 goals in 8 games. So, not bad. He's on an 82 goal pace. And, usually when you say something like that early in the season, it's like ridiculous and silly and fun. And everybody knows it. Connor McDavid could score 82 goals, Bruce. He could score 82 goals. Now, I think he's going to end up with like 55. But if Connor McDavid put his mind to it, and that was his priority for a season, is to, through the regular season, he's obviously going to play defense hard, and all the other stuff, be a good teammate, pass the puck. But if he makes up his mind to score goals, he could score a goal a game. And he's on
pace. He's on pace for 20 hat tricks.
No, that's funny. But
Gretzky only ever got to 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, here are the scoring leaders: McDavid 15, Pasternak 15, Draisaitl 15, Nichushkin and others 12. So already they're beginning to separate after just 8 games of action, and the big boys just keep piling in the goals and points. And nights like tonight, they needed all of them, but they got enough because the big boys are as prolifically productive as they are.
Alrighty. Well, let's leave it there, Bruce. We're going to be talking again on Saturday, I guess, eh?
Calgary Flames. Calgary's had last night off and tonight off and tomorrow night off, resting up for the Oilers. So there'll be a big rest advantage for Calgary, but I would suggest there'll be a bit of a motivational edge for the Oilers after Calgary won in Edmonton a couple weeks ago. So it'll be another intense game on what has already been a let's say exciting road trip. The 2 games could hardly have been different from each other, but more different from each other. But they both kept our attention right to the end, and I expect Saturdays will do likewise.
5 wins and 3 losses for the Oilers. Not bad. Not bad.
Better.
Bruce, thanks for talking tonight.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
And in the meantime, and in between times, this has been another edition of the Cult of Hockey podcast.